Hello and welcome to another edition of the Reserve Report, your source for what's going on locally and around the Reserve. I'm your host, Sergeant Michael Ito. The Department of Defense has authorized extending federal benefits and entitlements to same-sex spouses of service members. MAR Admin 42313 says that the DEER system should be ready to accommodate ID cards for same-sex spouses as soon as September 3rd. The Direct Affiliation program has finished its run as a pilot program and is now a staple in the Marine Corps. Any active duty Marine looking to transition to the SMCR can now speak with a Reserve Transition Coordinator and ensure a reserve billet prior to leaving the active component. For more information, see MAR Admin 41913. Another pilot program has taken its place, though. The Career Intermission Program allows Marines to transition to the Individual Ready Reserve for 1 to 3 years to accomplish personal and professional goals, and then reintegrate into the active component. For more information, see MAR Admin 41813. Our first story takes us to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, where a Marine with 6th Communications Battalion shows us his roots in New York City.
Well, I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17 years old. I always wanted to join the military, especially after September 11th. I wanted to join more. Being in the military and being in the police department is very rewarding, but it's also very stressful. When you're in the police department and you put that uniform on, for that shift, you don't know if you're coming home. You get into a shooting, or you might deliver a baby that day. That is like every day of your life.
Roger, we got a big officer at the center of the wing. They got bags. It looks like they're going the other way now, though.
There's a lot of similarities. Things that I've learned in the military, I've transitioned to the police department, and vice versa. Things I've learned in the police department, I could transition into the military. You know, you have to make decisions. Sometimes you might second guess yourself. You don't know if it's the right decision, but actually it's worse if you don't make a decision at all. So sometimes you just gotta make a decision and go with it. I like helping people. I've always been like that since I was young. It's actually fun, that's what I would say. A lot of Marines would say that deployments are hard, but they're also fun, and you also have that brotherhood with those Marines that you did deploy with. I actually wish I was older and I would have joined right there in 2001, right after September 11th. New York is very patriotic, and you get a lot of grace and a lot of things. It feels good, especially like when I got my shield for the police department and I graduated in Madison Square Garden. It was an awesome feeling. The police commissioner was a prior Marine. You take a little bit of pride in that. I have the utmost respect for my brothers and sisters in the military and in the police department because we risk a lot. I'm glad that I have a career back home that I can go to and also help people.
Our next story gives us a sneak peek at the newly fielded F-35, which will be featured at the 2013 Miramar Air Show, right alongside 4 squadrons from the 4th Marine Aircraft Group.
The F-35B is the future of Marine tactical fixed-wing aviation. Innovation like that represented here today has been the hallmark of 100 years of Marine aviation.
Next step in the evolution of the A in MAGTF.
The new commander of Marine Forces Reserve took his post August 28th at a ceremony right here at the Marine Corps Support Facility. Check it out as Lieutenant General Richard Mills takes charge of the largest command in the Marine Corps.
Present-day parades within the Marine Corps have their basis in both history and tradition. The mass formation of troops on the long line at close interval made possible the massing of firepower from muzzle-loaded muskets of yesterday. In those early days, the line of battle was just that, a line of 2 or 3 ranks, and looked much like the parade formation you will see today. The adjutant forms the line for battle. Will the guests please rise for the marching on of the colors and remain standing for the national anthem and posting of the colors.
March on the colors! Post the colors!
Thank you. Please be seated.
Harry! Rip! Stand up! Stand up! Report!
Marine Corps Command, New Orleans, all present or accounted for.
Headquarters Battalion, all present or accounted for. 4th Marine Aircraft Wing, all present or accounted for. 4th Marine Division, all present or accounted for. 4th Marine Logistics Group, all present or accounted for. 4th Headquarters Group, all present or accounted for.
Sir, all present and accounted for.
Publish the orders.
Aye, sir.
Attention to orders. Headquarters, Marine Forces Reserve, 28 August, 2013. The officer of the day today is Chief Warrant Officer Lawson. The officer of the day tomorrow is Staff Sergeant Warner. By order of Greg T. Cable, Senior Executive Service, Acting Commander. Officers! And turn! March!
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is Lieutenant General Richard P. Mills. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to Lieutenant General Mills. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Sergeant Major and Command Master Chief, deliver the colors to Lieutenant General Mills.
The Marine and sailor marching onto the parade deck are Sergeant Major Spadero and Command Master Chief Cousin. They will deliver the Marine Corps Forces Reserve and Marine Corps Forces North colors to Lieutenant General Mills. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Lieutenant General Richard P. Mills, effective 0900, 28 August 2013, you will assume the duties and responsibilities as the Commander of Marine Forces Reserve and Marine Forces North. Signed, James F. Amos, General, United States Marine Corps. Since 1875, non-commissioned and staff non-commissioned officers have carried the non-commissioned officer sword as a symbol of their ability and prestige as enlisted leaders of the Marine Corps. The Sergeant Major, as a senior enlisted leader and advisor, is the keeper of traditions for his or her unit. Today's emblematic passing of the sword of office signifies the transfer of this sacred trust from one Sergeant Major to another. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Sergeant Major Anthony A. Spadero, effective 0900, 28 August 2013, you are appointed as the Sergeant Major of Marine Forces Reserve and Marine Forces North. Signed, James F. Amos, General, United States Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, a message from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. For Senior Executive Hable. Greg, great job keeping the force on point during this transition period. With you at the helm, Marine Forces Reserve carried on a seamless transition between Lieutenant General Hummer's relinquishment and Lieutenant General Mills' assumption of command. During this time, the tempo did not stop, nor did your team. You ensured reserve equities were represented during senior level discussions, impacting both active and reserve component force structure. Through these critical months, you helped reinforce the Marine Corps' ethical warrior culture with training to educate our Marines and protect our Corps. We look forward to your continued service to Mar 4 Res and U.S. Marine Forces North in the critical supporting role of Executive Director for Lieutenant General Mills. For Lieutenant General Mills, Rich, as you take command, know that you have my complete trust and confidence. Your hard work and dedication as Commanding General, Marine Corps Combat Development Command, helped set the conditions for a relevant Marine Corps. I know you are well prepared for the challenges that you will face in this new post. Bonnie and I extend hearty congratulations and best wishes to you and Pat as you assume this critical post. Semper Fidelis, James F. Amos, General, United States Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Mills.
Well, good morning. Great New Orleans day, great Louisiana day, and it's a great day in the tradition and history of Marine Forces Reserve and Marine Forces North, and it's an honor for me to be standing here. I know we've already acknowledged all of our distinguished guests, and there are many of them. There are a few, though, that I'd like to point out. First of all, General Kelly, sir, you do us a great honor. Appreciate it very, very much. General Parent, thank you very much, sir, for your attendance. Senator General McCorkle and Kathy, sir, seems like you're always at the important events of my life, and I don't know whether that's a good sign or a bad sign, but you certainly have been an inspiration to me throughout my career, and I appreciate it very, very much. Vice Admiral Seo, thank you very much, sir, for your attendance here as well. You do us an honor. To all the flag officers here, General Mize, Kathy, good to see you again, sir. General Mize and I served in the real trenches in the Marine Corps, but headquarters of the Marine Corps, back when we were all in Navy Annex, and the air conditioning was just a thing we heard about, not actually saw, sir. Kathy, thank you. Great to see you again. All the flag officers, thank you very, very much for being here. I'd also like to thank all of our distinguished guests from the state of Louisiana, from the city of New Orleans, and from Algiers Parish. Thank you very, very much for being here, and I look forward to our time together and getting to know each and every one of you and working together very, very closely, as well as all the support organizations that we have. Again, the many friends that are here. Sergeant Major Sandra, thank you very much for coming down from Quantico and representing the fire pit. Thank you very, very much for that. Sergeant Major Benford back there, who got me through Iraq in one piece, and never fails to remind me of that, sir. Sergeant Major Glenn, great to see you. And of course, it's an honor to have the new Sergeant Major with his wife Kathy to form the team and to step off on the right foot. Thank you all very, very much. I have to tell you, when the Sergeant Major called me to organize this thing a week or so ago when I was up in D.C., he had a great idea. He said, why don't we have a band concert and you just tag on the change of command at the end of it? That way we're sure we get a big crowd. Otherwise it would be a little sparse. But that's right. The band just did a magnificent job. I've been going to Changes Command now for almost 40 years. My career in the Marine Corps. I don't think I've ever seen a sound off that was quite as unique as the one that we just saw. So have another round of applause for the band. I've learned one thing since I've been here about a week, and that is it's really cool when you sit in the shade here in New Orleans. It's a little warmer when you stand out here in the sun. So I will keep my remarks short. Sergeant Major and I were out at the dress rehearsal yesterday, and at the end of it, we talked to one of the Lance Corporals, and you always get the truth from the Lance Corporals, of course, and he was going back inside, and I said, what do you think? And he said, hey, sir, this is the best change of command, the best assumption of command I've ever been associated with, so I'm so happy to be part of it. So I thought I had a fan. So I thought I'd fish for a compliment. I said, well, why is that? And he said, there's only going to be one speech. So every time you think you're getting ahead of the power curve, you start to fall behind. And I hated to disappoint him, tell him there will actually be two speeches. The Sergeant Major is going to say hello as well. But we promise to keep these remarks short and brief. But I would be remiss in not pointing out a few things. When the Commandant notified me a few months ago that I was going to come down here and be honored by taking this command, I was just really pleased. I was very flattered. I was very pleased, really for three reasons. First of all, I have admired the work that Northcom does for many years. The job they put in on a daily basis in protecting our great country, the job they put forth on a daily basis in fighting the fires, fighting the threats that take place, and the disaster relief they've done, and things like Hurricane Sandy, all of that tremendous work. And perhaps most importantly, the work they do on a daily basis with our great allies and friends to our north and to our south, Mexico and Canada. I think that the work they do to work with those two important allies and friends is critical to the security of the United States and to the Western Hemisphere. And so I was thrilled to be part of that. Second reason I was thrilled was to be part of Marine Forces Reserve. I was the beneficiary both in Afghanistan and in Iraq with some magnificent reserve component individuals who came to me, both Marines and sailors. The job they did was extraordinary. On an individual basis, they played key roles in the staffs that I was on and in my command team. And as units, they fought gallantly, they fought bravely, they fought professionally and very effectively against a pretty hard and tough enemy that didn't want to lose. And so to be part of that organization, to come down here and work alongside those kinds of Marines and sailors is truly an honor. And lastly, I was absolutely thrilled that I would be able to be here in New Orleans, a great Marine city, one that has been friendly for the Marines since 1778. As a matter of fact, I tried to pay tribute to those Marines when they came in 1778. I was told that the first Marines arrived here aboard the USS Rattletrap. And so the car that I drove down here in, my sons tell me, bears the same name. So I'm trying to carry that tradition forward, and we'll see how we do. But New Orleans and the state of Louisiana, famous for producing great Marines, and famous for the support they give the Marine Corps on a daily basis, both here locally, up in Washington, D.C., where the real battles take place, and overseas, as they send their support and their prayers to our Marines and sailors who are forward engaged and in harm's way. And, of course, we've had many tremendous Marines that came out of New Orleans, came out of Louisiana, some who have risen to the rank of Commandant. And so I truly an honor to be here. Additionally, I understand that Eli Manning comes from the same city of New Orleans. To him, I owe much. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a New York Giants fan, and I'm going to have to bite my tongue, I think, in New Orleans for a while, but I'll do my best. Again, let me just turn my back just for a moment on you, please, if you'll excuse me, and talk to the Marines behind me in formation. Really the reason that I'm here. I want to thank all of you for being out here today. It's hot out here. It's getting humid. You all look magnificent during this ceremony. I appreciate very much what you're doing out here. More importantly, let me pledge to you that over the next several years, you will have my 100% support in all that you do. I will make clear my expectations, but to be part of a magnificent unit with a magnificent heritage, such as the 4th MEF has, is indeed an honor and a crowning achievement to any officer's career. It's my job to do battle with you and for you at the highest ranks of the Marine Corps, and I promise you I will do that to look out for your interests, your welfare, and especially your family's welfare and interests as well. Let me just close here by recognizing the really important part of my command team, which is my wife, Pat, sitting here in the front row. 38 years of marriage, 6 children, and she promised me next year I can buy a new car. So with that, let me turn the mic over. Let me say God bless the United States of America and Semper Fidelis.
Wow. Good morning. You know, I mean, this is great. I didn't have to go down to St. Charles Street and one of them little side things and beg some guy so it wouldn't rain. I thought I had to go see that guy, but the chaplain, you helped us out on that one. So you're doing good. You know, whenever you have to get up and give one of these speeches, you know, your biggest fear, no one's going to remember a good speech, but they will definitely remember a bad speech. So I'm hoping you remember this good speech because I think the narrator covered that the blessings that we have to have some people with us among us that represent a true joint and a coalition force. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention my boss, Lieutenant General Mrs. Mills, and I guess I didn't screw the whole speech up. So I'm done right now. I got out, but I can't miss General Kelly. Welcome home, sir. And how do you like what we've done with the place? It's not a dig, but they've been telling me all week, wait till General Kelly sees the place. So what do you think, sir? Lieutenant General Parent, thanks for being here. Lieutenant McCorkle, Kathy, it's always good to see you. So we thank you for being here. Admiral, our Mexican counterparts, General McMillan, General Roy, General Ives, General Mize, how do you like what we've done with the place? Do you approve, sir? And again, you know, we're really blessed. We have our MSC commanders. We have our ECOM Sergeant Major, Sergeant Major Ken Conover, an old friend of mine. Glad to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. But you know what's more important, sir? You know, General Mills, we have a joint, but we have this other coalition. And I like to call it the federal, state, and local coalition that's so ably represented here, and we're so blessed to have them there. Or I like to say, you know, when I got here, sir, I met this one very dynamic woman, the president of the New Orleans Council herself, Mrs. Jackie Clarkson. You know what she said to me? New Orleans loves two things. We love our saints, but we love our Marines. And we're not going to let you down, the city of New Orleans, with that. You know, you got to think, you know, this parade just didn't happen overnight, and there's a bunch of things, and they need to be recognized why this parade, you're watching this beautiful parade. You know, first and foremost is you got to look at the chaplain, because I didn't have to go to St. Charles Street to get that little guy that burns candles and monkey bones and stuff. So, the no rain, but the chaplain, great prayer. But you know, the other thing you got to look at is the Marines behind the scenes. And there's so many Marines that make this happen today. And in this past week, I've learned more about flux capacitor, generator load capacity things, mics not going out, what to happen. But those Marines, that effort that they did, wow. And I hope to see them all during the week, because really, for everybody here, it was their dedicated efforts that made that happen. And then we got this crazy bunch, and it's called the Sergeants Majors. And we unleashed the Krakens this past week. And it was amazing. And I think they're very kind. Colonel Wise, you're not going to have to go to medical after this. Are you doing good? But our COT who volunteered for this, Colonel Brad Wise from Marine Forces North, is he doing a phenomenal job? But I got to thank, you know, Sergeant Major Bill Fitzgerald, Sergeant Major Brad Castle, Sergeant Major Mike Sprague, Sergeant Major Gary Smith, and above all, Sergeant Major Renee Salinas, who really, they were driving this thing, and they made it happen. But, you know, I talked to the Marines yesterday, and I just show off for this crowd to show them, one, you don't know what they do inside there, but all you want to do is go to sleep every night, and you see those Marines behind you are going to protect you. So a round of applause for them back there. All right, I got the B bunch now. Now, the real person that put this parade on, she's going to hide, she's going to deny it, but Miss Bev Boyd, wherever you are, Miss Bev, God bless you for putting up with us. Phenomenal job. There she is, she's hiding. I see you. And I got a bag of Twizzlers for you, Miss Bev, okay? But, you know, I feel like I'm about to announce Bruce Springsteen right now, but how about that band? Woo! I mean, seriously, I like I said, I almost thought I was at a Springsteen concert or something, so we did it. Okay, but I learned one thing about New Orleans in the short time I'm here. You all love a celebration. I'm the one standing between you and that celebration. So in the spirit of a laissez le bon temps roulé, I just got to do a couple acknowledgments and we're out. General Mills. Sir, I was blessed to work with you in Afghanistan. Well, I watched you gallantly. I watched you determinedly. I just made that word up because it's even better than being determined. Professionally. So I watched you lead a joint and coalition force. So is this, sir, right here? This is nothing to you, sir. And I just want to make sure I'm behind you, sir, to help you and next to you and whatever we have to do, sir, because I know you're going to do this honorably. And, sir, it's an honor to serve with you once again. So I thank God that I'm with you, sir. To my beloved, I told you I loved you last night. I told you I loved you this morning. That's not going to change. And to all the Marines, our sailors, our family here, I have one message for you. You know, when you get to high school for the first time and you meet those people and you go, man, they are going to be the best friends I ever had. Then you go to college or you go off to other things, towns, jobs, and you meet some people and you go, these are going to be the best friends I ever had. And then you join the Marine Corps and you meet your family that's going to be there with you the rest of your life. So let me thank you for letting me join this family now. God bless you all and Semper Fidelis.
Commander review.
The commander of troops for today's parade is Colonel Weiss, Chief of Staff, Marine Forces North. The Marine Corps Band New Orleans is under the direction of Staff Sergeant Stephen Howell and led on the march by Gunnery Sergeant Dwayne King. The commanding officer of Headquarters Battalion is Lieutenant Colonel Brian J. Harding. Representing 4th Marine Aircraft Wing is Colonel Harkin, Chief of Staff, 4th Marine Aircraft Wing. The Color Sergeant for Marine Forces Reserve is Sergeant Kenzie. Representing 4th Marine Division is Colonel White, Assistant Chief of Staff, G3. Representing 4th Marine Logistics Group is Colonel Holmquist, Chief of Staff, 4th Marine Logistics Group. Representing Force Headquarters Group is Colonel Simon, Chief of Staff, Force Headquarters Group.
That about does it for this edition of the Reserve Report. As always, for more news, photos, and videos, check out our website at www.marforres.marines.mil. I'm Sergeant Michael Ito. Thanks for watching.